We're about a week into the new season, and today I'd like to discuss my personal thoughts on the season, as well as why the season is getting the praise it's getting. Before this season, Season 7 was coming off the back end of possibly one of the worst seasons we've had, Season 6, aka the Primal Age Fortnite season. Season 6 was generally looked down upon, and it was for good reason. The map sucked, it had terrible POIs, the only changes was the center of the map, there was no rotational items other than cars, and of course, the main aspect, the primal and crafting, it was just a terrible mechanism. It wasn't fun. You had to find parts. That was the main goal. You wouldn't be able to key because you have to find parts before you could even get a pump. It was a ridiculous meta. While most would say the season got better as time went on, it still wasn't good at the end of the season. It was still one of the worst seasons we had. No one was really enjoying it. It was pretty dry in general. Then, of course, about a week ago, we had the release of Season 7, Alien Invasion themed. The consensus of the season so far is that it's pretty good. I see a majority positive feedback, obviously other than some certain things, and also no arena reset. The arena reset is probably the main reason a lot of people, including myself, aren't really playing that much. There's just not much to do right now. But if you watch Twitch or scroll on Twitter, you'll see general positive feedback. And I would agree with this. While it is boring right now because of the arena reset, once arena resets, I'll probably have a good time on the game and I'll be playing a lot. And obviously this is a good thing. But I decided to look. And obviously this is a great thing. The game is fun, a lot more people are going to play. But when looking at the changes, you see that it's really not that great. I guess that's what the point of this video is, to look at the changes and see what really makes a good season. Let's begin with some of the negative changes. This season, again, is another pretty boring map. Not a lot of changes other than some spread out AI spawns with different items. We also have a couple of new POIs, but other than that, the outskirts of the map are pretty normal since the beginning of this chapter. The Rarity of Guns. I think this is one of the most underlooked problems of this season, and that guns are just not that good. Sometimes you will be coming out of games in the final zone with a green pump, which literally last season would be unheard of. I think it's a very vast difference from last season, which I'll touch upon in a little bit, but it's crazy to think that last season, I think every single person would have had a purple pump, and this season you might not even be coming out of your POI with a colored weapon. Of course, there's those damn flying saucers going around the map, infinite ammo on its laser beam, and also it can just pick people up and throw it around. A pretty ridiculous item. Gold is really janky this season because of how weird the prices are. I think the vending machines are a good addition, but the prices for those are super cheap compared to upgrading, which is unbelievably expensive. I'm not sure if that was something to do with they want people to do more challenges, but the gold prices are very, very janky. Of course, the servers are not great from my own experience. They're just as bad as they always have been. And this is bad service even with the removal of most of the animal spawns, which were a big problem last season. They removed a lot of the animals, but they're still very bad server problems. And of course, how could I forget the Railgun? Probably the stupidest gun they've ever added. You can shoot through walls. It hits a lot of fucking damage. It's like a sniper basically, but through walls. It's probably the worst weapon they've ever added. After all of this, it makes me think, how the hell is this season so enjoyable? Like, even after reading that, I'm like, wow, this season blows. But once the arena resets, I feel like I could have a good time. So there's gotta be an explanation somehow. After all the additions in the game, I think the most important addition that is helping the fun of arena and even just gameplay in general is rotation. Even it being just launch pads. Launch pads, I think, are a super convenient item. I think that a lot of people are getting enjoyment out of the fact that you can just get a launch pad, even if it's only 1 or 2 a game. It helps that much. I also think at the AI spawns, the new ones that are around the map, that there's launch pads at those spots. It just helps with the availability of rotation. Now, back to the gun rarity spawns. While I think that it might not be better for arena, that there's less gold or purple pumps, I think that for a general stance, it could be better and more enjoyable when facing opponents. The odds of one getting a gold pump or a purple pump are low, but it's also low for everybody else. So usually when you're going up against someone, you'll probably be fighting a similar level of rarity shotgun. It also helps when you do get a gold or purple pump on those off chances. It'll make it a more enjoyable experience it'll be more meaningful. It'll be more fun, which I think is important as well. And the last point that I think is probably the most important is that it's the preseason, right? A lot of people are comparing this to last season when there was a ton of problems at the beginning of the season. And over time, over the course of the season, they kind of fixed the problems and they made it a lot better. So I think a lot of people going into the season are having that same assumption where, oh, there's the railgun and there's the flying saucers, but it's still going to get fixed. I mean, they know that it's not a good addition for competitive. They're going to remove all the bad stuff and they're going to make it a good game. I mean, they've already removed the alien spaceships from Arena, so that's already a positive start. But I think once they remove the railguns, it'll be a lot better. I think that's why more people are enjoying it. It's honestly not a bad season, even with those additions. There's a lot of underrated chains. Like I said, the vending machine, I think that's a really good addition, as well as one of the most underrated ones is those 1200 health rocks that are now 450 and give the same amount of brick. Small changes like that make the world, and I think that this season has a lot of those different switches that are helping the enjoyment. And a lot of the fan favorites from the past are coming back, including like the Stark rifle and the FAMAS and all those types of guns. Also, the addition of the lever is back in the game, which is always something it's available, and that's what's good about this season. I'm interested to see what they do about the railgun. As of right now, the railgun is still in the game, so that means as of right now, the railgun will be in the solo cups, including the UEFA one as well as the All-Star Showdown. I think there's a lot of problems that they could fix easily for the end of the preseason, but the real question is, will they? I mean, we're dealing with Epic Games. Hopefully they will. But I think that's the main reason why people are so confident about this season and why they're enjoying it so much. I think this season has a lot of potential. While I, like many others, are hoping for a better season than a preseason, anything is possible, right? Comment below your thoughts on the new season. Like this video, and of course subscribe. More content like this. It's free. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.